I think this is a great representation of a moment that hits you anywhere, any time of the day, or in the middle of the night. And it can be at a bar, in a restaurant, having a beer. You could be talking with someone. I had one this last week after hearing your speech. I was literally leading a one-on-one, and something came to my brain. I didn't want to interrupt the person I was talking with, but I just grabbed a piece of scratch paper and wrote down the idea because I didn't want to lose it. And I was able to come back to it 2 days later and actually take action on it. So I really appreciate the way you've kind of captured that thought and put it into tactical pieces for us to follow in 5 steps. Very, very meaningful. Thank you. All right. Our next team captain is going to share with us a different story. Miss Tanisha believes that some of life's greatest lessons don't come from our victories. They come from moments when we struggle, fall behind, and choose not to give up. Drawing from a personal story about high school track meet, she reminds us that success isn't always about finishing first. Sometimes the greatest achievement is simply finding the courage to keep going. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Tanisha Guy as she presents her speech. Sometimes you have to lose to win. Tanisha.
No, the Toastmaster. Can I take this? Awesome. Hello, fellow Toastmasters. The title of my speech is Sometimes You Have to Lose to Win. Raise your hand if you played sports in high school or college. Mm-hmm. We're so used to the word winning being synonymous with the medal, the title, the best pitch, the person who crossed the finish line first. But sometimes that doesn't always make you a winner. In high school, I ran track. They called me a sprinter. I ran the 100-yard dash and the 4x4 relay. I liked it quick, done, and over. This particular track meet, my coach said, "Come here." Whenever she said, "Come here," it was not going to be good. She said, "I need you to run the 1600. I said, "Come again? Who, me?" She said, "I need you to run the 1600. I said, "I don't run the 1600. I don't train for the 1600. I did not prepare for the 1600. Therefore, I'm not ready for the 1600. She said, "You are, and you will." Now, in case you don't know, the 1600 is not one time around the track. It's not 2 times around the track. It's not 3 times around the track. It is 4 times around the track. I told you I'm a sprinter. But because I am a team sport, I said I'll do it even though I'm not prepared. So I got to the starting line as I've always done. I leaned down, I waited, the gun went off, and you know what I did? I did what I do. I sprinted. Arms pumping, legs moving. Oh, I'm in the wind. As I look back, I did say back because everybody is behind me at this point. I'm feeling good until the first curve came. And I realized this race isn't over. And slowly, people started passing me. One by one. I no longer felt good about this race. In fact, I started having difficulty breathing. My chest was tight. I was gasping for air. My legs were burning. I could barely feel my feet. And that one stride that was perfect no longer existed. I was no longer running this race. I was barely surviving this race. I knew any second my legs were gonna stop. I was tired, and by now, I'm pretty embarrassed because I'm last. I mean, dead last. And everything in my body said, sit on the track, give up, walk off, quit. And right when I wanted to quit, somebody was running on the side of me. And it wasn't another runner. My dad had come all the way down from the bleachers, and he was running on the side of me. And even though there was no one left but me on the track, he didn't say, you're losing. What are you doing? Get it together. He simply said, keep running. I said, no, I can't. He said, keep running. I said, but my legs hurt. He said, keep running. I said, I can't do it. He said, keep running. And in that moment, something shifted. I knew I wanted to quit. I knew I couldn't even feel my legs anymore. My arms were like jello. There was no stride. There was nothing. But in that moment, I decided it was time to shift. And I said, I'm going to finish this race. So as my dad ran on the side of me saying, keep running, I kept running. I finished the race, dead last. But I learned a valuable lesson. In fact, this is the lesson that I have taken with me ever since that moment. When I wanted to quit, I didn't. Because I heard someone saying, keep running. So today, I remind myself in difficult times when I want to quit, when that thing that I thought was going to work out didn't, that job didn't come through, that test I didn't pass, that relationship that didn't work out, the pitch that I made that didn't go through, I told myself, keep running. So I want you to remember these 3 simple letters. R-U-N. The next time you want to quit, the R represents refuse to give up. The U, understand your assignment. I knew my assignment. I didn't have to win. I just needed to finish the race. And the N, never quit. So in those moments where you are tired, you're hurting, you're in pain, and you are ready to give up, simply remember, keep running and don't quit. Sometimes, you all, the biggest loss becomes the biggest win. Thank you. Thank you.